Apartment 7A is a prequel to the 1968 classic Rosemary's Baby. I saw it last week on Amazon Prime. No, or was it Paramount? One of those two. And I was very surprised on how good this movie actually was, how it fit so well into the narrative of the original classic of that film. For those of you who are familiar with Rosemary's Baby, you know what it's about. This woman and her husband move into this apartment, happens to be the same apartment complex, if I'm correct, that John Lennon lived before he passed, sadly. So it's on Central Park Avenue, on west on the west side, um, and I was bugging out because I was like, okay, what's this about? There was a prequel for this. How does that work? Um, and as I kept on watching it, I realized that this is not even so much a prequel. It is a prequel, but it also kind of like overlaps with the events of Rosemary's Baby. Let me explain. It's about this young girl who is a aspiring dancer and Broadway star. Unfortunately, a physical mishap puts her out of the out to pasture for a little bit until she heals up. And in the meantime, she's dealing with her struggles, her self doubts on whether she'll make it in that kind of world. And then this elderly couple takes her into one of the apartments, apartment 7A, in that building. And they wanted to just be very charitable. They were very loving. They cared. They're the kind of person that they said they just care about people, and they've done it before, and they really don't have any money. But I mean, they have money. Obviously, they live there, but um, they have this free apartment for her to live in. So she takes it, though her friends advised against it. She takes it as she continues to heals up and tries to get back into the spotlight on Broadway, right? So then, as that's happening, she's starting to see strange things in the building, right? Some of these shots and some of these scenes are bugged me out. I was kind of creeped out myself, and I don't creep out easily. So when I saw this, I was like, yo, what's that? Who's that? There was one shot when she's looking in the middle of a party at a room, another room, and there were these people there, and there was this guy, and he looked so gnarly. I was like, what is that guy? No, no, no. It gets better. You know, as time goes on, it becomes clear that this woman is a target to be a surrogate or a mother, for that matter, to the son of the devil, the Antichrist, right? So I'm thinking, wait a minute, wasn't Rosemary supposed to be that? Her too? So apparently, what this film is showing is that this woman was the first attempt, or maybe another attempt of others that failed, right? So when that happened, she started remembering things, like there was this guy that she wanted to impress to get her into the show, one of those directors or big time producers or whatever, and he happens to live inside the building too. And she goes to see him, and they hang out and a while, and then the next thing she knows, she's waking up in his bed, now remembering what happened the night before. Sound familiar? Hmm? That's when things start to gel. As the movie goes on, she realizes the conspiracy. At first, she can't believe it. She actually even goes to a church and discusses this issue with a nun, and the nun seems to know a thing or two about what's going on there in that building, about the legacy of that building, the legacy of those people that lived there, that go back almost a century. Okay, of these group of Satanists that basically live in that building to kind of like try to usher in the son of the devil, the Antichrist, into the world, right? So they she finds out all this stuff. She finds out she's pregnant. Yep, she's pregnant. Now remember, this is the late 60s. She does whatever she can to try to end the pregnancy. right? But because of the times, that she had to try to do it on the down low, and then as a result, that didn't work. But what was but there's a lot more supernatural, like both films, this one and Rosemary's Baby, both have the same sense of suspense and creepiness to it. But Apartment 7A has more of the supernatural element that I've always thought Rosemary's Baby was lacking. There were things that were happening in that movie that made me go, "Oh, that's different. That wasn't in the Rosemary's Baby." Like, you see things, you see creatures, you see demons, you see things in this that you didn't see in Rosemary's Baby so much. A little bit maybe, but not like this, not like this. And when you see it, you'll be like, "Yo, that's crazy," right? I'm not gonna tell you how it ends. Go see this movie. I highly recommend this film. Now, there are so many callbacks to the original film, The Apartment, the ads, magazine articles, newspaper articles. When you see this, you'll see what I mean. Um, and what I also found very impressive was that how they took many of the actors that played, from not actors, but many of the characters from the original Rosemary's Baby. They're in this movie, but the people that they picked to play those did it really spot on. It's like, when I look back at Rosemary's Baby and I look at them, I'm like, damn, that was good. They dressed them up the same. They had them in the same age range and everything, and they were really good. There's a doctor, same doctor from the original film. That couple I was telling you about, that's the same couple from the original film, and other people too. So when you get to see this film, just keep all of those things in mind when watching it and see what happens to her, because you want to know what happened to her. And here's a little. I'm gonna give this away. This I'll give away. This character, the character that the girl plays, that character is in Rosemary's Baby too. How? Watch the movie. You'll see what I mean. I'm gonna give Apartment Five. I'm sorry, it's the wrong apartment. I'm gonna give Apartment 7A. I'm gonna give it, honestly, 4 coffee cups. It was really good. I enjoyed it. I would see it again. It has the same kind of suspense and creepiness and psychological tension that the original Rosemary's Baby had. They really did their best to, like, keep that same kind of spirit, that same kind of feel, from the original film, and apply it to this one. And in my opinion, they succeeded. Check it out. Come back, talk to me, comment below, and let me know what you think about Apartment 7A. Apartment 7A. Very good movie. This is Ralph Perez from Horror and Coffee. Have a happy new year. Take care.